Spring arrives, the flowers bloom, the trees come alive, and your child is stuck indoors with a box of tissues, those red, watery eyes, and a nose that just won't stop running. You've tried every allergy med on the shelf, you've kept the windows closed, tracked pollen counts religiously on those apps, and limited outdoor time during peak season. But nothing seems to work. Deep down, you're asking yourself, why is my child the only one who can't enjoy the most beautiful time of year? Now, here's what most people won't tell you: the problem isn't the pollen count, it's the nervous system. So, we're making this video today for parents who are exhausted from managing those seasonal allergies year after year, tired of watching their kids miss out on the outdoor fun, and ready to understand the real neurological reason why their child's immune system overreacts to harmless pollen. Now, we start these usually with a story, and this one's about myself. I was that kid where I was constantly scratching my eyes out, puffy eyes, watery eyes, draining nose, usually, 4, 5, 6 months out of the year, beginning in spring through the summer. Growing up in Kansas City, I was miserable at school. I was miserable sleeping. I just constantly had puffy eyes and still do to this day. But it's one of those that when I didn't realize that chiropractic was an option, we had all the different over-the-counter medications, neti pots, different little things, washcloths over the face, stayed inside during those peak seasons. We did everything to do to try to limit the exposure without trying to work on the neurological root cause. And so once I got into chiropractic school at Cleveland, started being treated more regularly, things lessened up a little bit. Once I continued my treatment, which I've been treated about once a week, pretty much over the last 15 years, when we moved out of state to a state that typically has more allergens and more pollen and all this kind of stuff that I was expecting to have, a big response there as well. A couple months go by after we moved, didn't have much of an issue. 6 months goes by, a year, 2 years, 5 years, and never really had many allergies at all from having that regular neurologically focused treatment out in Colorado. And so it's one of those that we see this all the time in our office because it's not just us, it's not just some kids. Seasonal allergies affect approximately 24 million Americans, which is 1 in 4 children, making it one of the most chronic common conditions. But here's the question that nobody asks: why do some kids play outside all spring, zero issues when the pollen count is high, while others are trapped indoors, sneezing, struggling to breathe, clawing their eyes out, itching, all that kind of stuff? And that's where we get to the immune system. The immune system is controlled by the nervous system. The vagus nerve, our big parasympathetic nerve, acts like an air traffic controller. It regulates those immune responses. When the nervous system is balanced, it tells that immune system, hey, pollen is harmless. When it's stuck in stress mode, which is dysautonomia, it signals danger, attack, get all those histamines, trigger those histamines and allergy signs to get after the problem. Now, 70 to 80% of immune cells originate from the gut tissue, which is regulated by that vagus nerve. Now, when the vagal tone is damaged or dysregulated, gut barrier function breaks down, and that leads to immune hypersensitivity and overreactions to harmless triggers such like pollen. We see it with a lot of other allergens as well. The perfect storm is what typically damages that nervous system early in life. When we think of perfect storm, or when we talk perfect storm in our office, we're talking about the 3 T's, which is what our practice is named after. Whether it's emotional stress, whether it's chemical stress, or whether it's physical stress. Trauma, toxins, and thoughts that we kind of have affect our body and affect our nervous system on a regular basis. When we see babies or kids have allergies or allergens or allergic reactions, prenatal stress is a big thing with that. It transmits cortisol through the umbilical cord. Birth trauma, whether it be C-section, forceps use, vacuum, any kind of traction method that stresses that vagal nerve in the upper cervicals, causes that stress, that physical stress. Chronic stress keeps the body stuck in that fight or flight mode. When we are sympathetic dominant and it's stuck in that overdrive, it's like that computer with too many tabs open. Everything starts slowing down, slowing down, slowing down until everything crashes. Excessive cortisol that comes with it weakens immune function, and that triggers that pro-inflammatory response to harmless pollen and other allergens. Medications that we use typically suppress those signs, but it doesn't restore the health of the nervous system. Antihistamines cause drowsiness, they cause fatigue, they cause behavioral problems. It's the same thing, chemical stress. It adds stress to the nervous system because now your body's dealing with that as well. They stimulate an already overstimulated nervous system. The traditional approach, avoiding allergens, staying indoors, that limits quality of life without fixing the root cause. And so that's why we try to educate about neurologically focused chiropractic care to restore nervous system balance. In our office, we do insight scans where it identifies where that stress is stuck on the system to keep the body out of that stress state. Gentle adjustments release stored tension, activate the parasympathetic nervous system in that vagal tone, and help the immune system function appropriately without overreacting. So if your child is stuck in a cycle of seasonal allergies like I had when I was a kid, missing out on that outdoor play and relying on medications that don't actually fix the problem, there is a better way. Your child's nervous system is simply stuck in a pattern of stress that can be released. Neurologically focused chiropractic care doesn't treat or cure seasonal allergies. Instead, it works to rebuild and restore optimal neurological and immune system function, giving your child's body the foundation it needs to regulate and adapt naturally. If you're ready to help your child break free of seasonal allergies and enjoy the changing seasons without suffering, click on the link in our bio, send us a direct message, or schedule directly in our bio as well, and connect with us through a clarity call where you can speak to me directly and we can talk about any challenges that you're dealing with.